They changed the entire structure of the sport and really hampered what the company was doing at that point. They had a new trajectory that they wanted to go on, and it may have done well. It may not have, with a pandemic hitting and other circumstances. The CrossFit has made some different choices and have gone sort of in a different direction and course corrected back to kind of what we to they have course corrected kind of back to what we were doing in 2018 before the changes. So, anyways, for CrossFit, or for creating our own Buttery Bros YouTube channel, initially when I was let go, I was hurt. I was definitely disappointed by the decisions that had been made, but I knew if I take this personal and I let it ruin me and a judgment on myself, that's not going to help me or anybody. I took calls to see if I wanted to do a different direction with my art and filmmaking. And I saw an opportunity to help this community that had given me a really cool life to that point, and that I'm very passionate about health and fitness and wellness. And so I thought, well, at least I'm going to make one feature film or some big media project around this sport independently of anybody else. And then we'll see what happens from there, because I can use that. Like, you could say that basically the commercials or the movies that I made for CrossFit while I was working for CrossFit were a commercial for that brand. So some people might not see them as films. So now I was going to make a very um, journalistic type film about the sport. And that's what ended up being the movie called The Fittest that came out in 2020. It did really successful. And to produce that, to finance it, essentially, we started our Buttery Bros YouTube channel, not with the intention of it being a financial resource, but just to document the behind the scenes on making that movie. And that turned out to be the most successful, rewarding thing that I've ever done, and opened so many doors and make things so fun in my life that is now what I've done full time, which is basically a behind the scenes YouTube show on what we do on a general day to day basis now. Sorry,
That's
long story.
amazing. That no, that's I love the sort of the background to it, because that is such a unique way of doing it. Not take it personally and think, how can I use this going forward? How can I help others? That says a lot about your character. But the fact that the show was a kind of little side thing that you needed to help you create this media, and now look at what it's done, how it inspires and motivates so many people. Because that was part of it, was like, what was the mission behind it? But why do you think it's become so successful? I heard you mention in another interview that you could monetize it in the first day. You had something like 20,000 subscribers in the first day. Why do you think
I,
it's clicked?
okay, so I think there's two things here. One, we could monetize the YouTube channel, but that doesn't necessarily, like, we don't make a lot of money off of YouTube. So monetizing it doesn't mean
No.
that I'm able to not I'm able to pay rent, essentially. Like, if we just took YouTube money, we wouldn't be able to afford anything. We would be very limited on our productions. Um, we we had, I think, so we had worked in a niche. So if you're interested in making a YouTube channel or content like this, find a niche that you're passionate about and that excites you, and also love storytelling and filmmaking. So those two things came together really well for me. I had always had a passion in fitness and working out, and I'd always had a passion for filmmaking and storytelling. And so putting those two together and creating our own YouTube channel, and also helping to build this behemoth of a brand, CrossFit, from 2009 to 2018, really put me in a position where a lot of people in that community knew about who we were,